Steve Fields, we are here at the Rolex Monterey Motorsports reunion. I've been coming to this for, 15 years or so, back when it was called the Monterey Historics. There's a different vibe here, brother, for real. Over the 4 days I've been here, the energy that's here, the look, there's a lot of new things that have been incorporated into this event. I know you and the whole family here at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca really put in a lot of effort. Let's just start with you, right? Senior VP of Sales, your company, Allfield Sports, you've been looking after this on behalf of the track for quite some time. Tell me about what you're seeing, what you're feeling and observing about what's going on this year here at Laguna Seca.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Marshall. Yeah, I've been here 22 years. Time flies when you're having fun, right? And I tell you, it feels like yesterday when we started running things from a financial standpoint of bringing in partners. The energy is renewed. You know, we had a huge year this year. Rolex stepped up to a new long-term commitment. Haggerty stepped up, new long-term commitment. Motul, Motor Oil.
Motul as well.
Yeah, Motul actually, our official motor oil. They're also, we just announced the title sponsor for our IMSA weekend, which is new. They're a big part of our motorcycle events, and they're a big part of our vintage racing. So, and that's just the cusp of kind of a lot of the partnerships we've been able to bring in this year. We see a lot of energy coming back. People just want to be associated with this place. I mean, you know, Monterey Bay, the Corkscrew, everything that this place brings. And the team here has done a phenomenal job of creating a vision like the Cafe Le Mans tent, and we've had a really successful time bringing in partners like Moet Champagne and bringing the whole thing full circle for us.
And that's one of the parts that I've enjoyed seeing. And no disrespect to any of the past partners at this event, for example, a little bit same year after year you'd often see. I would hesitate to say in years past this Rolex reunion's been one where we've seen a lot of new partners come in, new names and branding. Over our shoulders here, Haggerty, all over that big, giant, 2 or 3 story sponsor hospitality dream overlooking turn 3 and whatnot. So that has been really awesome. Tell me a little bit about that, because coming out of COVID, we've seen some partners, some sponsors say, hey, we got to get back into motor racing, support the tracks. Are you seeing that? You feeling that?
Absolutely. And I think what you see in the transition of that building is a subject of what you've seen in the past, right? Same old, same old. And so we've started to take a different perspective on how this property is pitched. And we've looked at the opportunity and the excitement of just come out and experience it, and you can see. You know, Rolex, one of the best partners we could ever ask for. They looked at it and what their initiatives were a little bit different. And so they wanted to step aside and focus on a different part of their brand initiatives. So we worked with them. Again, new long-term partner, but different interests on how they utilize this property. We went straight to somebody like Haggerty, who has opened up Pandora's box from a fan experience standpoint, leveraging their consumers, their card holders, and really activating that property for events almost every single night. They brought in Radwood, they brought in user groups, they brought in company parties, track activities. And so we're trying to really take this property and figure out how we focus on brands that activate. Pagani, same thing, right? Not necessarily a vintage racing, but how do we get that next phase of racing fans here, right? They love the supercars. They love where we're going with technology.
Gordon Murray Automotive's T50 is here, for goodness sake. Run down the list. I love the fact, whether it's Bugatti, connected with Car Week and such, we've seen Di Tommaso, hypercar, super crazy hypercar manufacturers are now rallying to say Rolex Monterey Motorsports reunion and hypercars too.
Yeah, so here's something that we pitched coming out of COVID, is we looked around the peninsula, all these incredible events.
Lucid as well, another automotive company.
We said, look, do what you got to do at the Quail, at Pebble, at all these other places, but we are your museum in motion. You can go see these beautiful pieces of artwork sitting on a lawn, but you're going to come here and you're going to hear them and feel them and you're going to experience them, and that's what's going to draw fans into this place. And that's how we see other brands gravitating to that, to see that experience of that next generation of auto. And that's a huge piece for us.
and we don't mind having to speak over vintage Formula One cars because it's just heaven's trumpet right here.
Exactly.
So there's no arguments at all.
Nope.
So Steve, this isn't the only thing that you do though. Tell me about some of the other clients you have and what you do, because again, what you do there informs what you do here.
Yeah, so Laguna's been our bread and butter for 22 years. But we are out there. We just signed a partnership with Lime Rock Park. We're going to be helping them at their MC event, their vintage race. We love those guys. The new ownership group's got a lot of great things happening for it. We do work with Moto America. We did their Geico title sponsorship. It was the richest deal in their series history. Arma, the vintage motorcycle guys. And we're looking at a couple of other clients that we're going to be bringing on, make an announcement this fall. But you know, we kind of look like our network and our reputation is what we've built our business on. And the more that we can leverage those two things, it's all about fair, good partnerships and our relationships. And if somebody wants a piece of that, you know, I want this industry to thrive. And if we can be a part of more successes, I'm all for it.
Last question for you. So you're also on the board of directors for the Laguna Seca Foundation, charitable endeavor. What does that foundation do? I know that obviously Monterey County investor obviously in this property, but tell me about the foundation and how that helps, I don't know, maybe why folks want to get involved there.
Yeah, so the foundation was started back when Scramp was still here, and it was called something else obviously, and I'm the treasurer currently. We try to raise funds and awareness through projects that have to happen here. Yes, it's a county facility, but we've had to raise money here to build the facility. When we brought MotoGP, I raised $11.9 million with our team to bring MotoGP, to do a partnership with Red Bull to build the beautiful Turn 1 structure, to refurbish the scoring Triathlon, to build the hospital behind Turn 11. And so the foundation now has a very active group, which is so great to see, with the Laps for Laguna program, with the Jim Farley fundraiser we did this week, raised $75,000. So now we're starting to target projects that we know the fans want to see here as much as the participants. And so we're taking that next level of what is out there that the fans want to see us do. Graded hillsides, shade, you know, all those kind of things. And so the foundation is put in place as a 501c4 nonprofit to raise money specifically for this property and its capital improvement.
Appreciate you, Steve. Appreciate what you do.
Thanks, Marshall. Appreciate it.